Oh man, be careful if you're a game master. Because I know sometimes we have this idea that we want to run a game, that we spent so much writing down this game and we spent so much preparing this monster. Learn this rule. No plot survives an encounter with the players. No plot survives an encounter with the PCs. No plot. Doesn't happen. That the moons align themselves and they like your plot hooks and they just follow it because they say, oh, this is a fun adventure. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it does happen. Believe me, it happens. I've seen it happen and it has happened to me. That people just follow your plot. And even if you don't think that your plot hooks are that good, but they just follow them. It happens. Experienced players, but they just like what you wrote. But more often than not, it happens that they don't want to follow your plot hook. Alright, not more often than not. But it happens that they don't want to follow it. So what do? Do you railroad them? Some players don't mind being railroaded. Others do. You have to be very careful. Some players don't know what railroading is. Especially players that are just getting into role-playing. It's, oh, okay, the game master tells us to go this way, so we'll go this way. No harm, no foul. But then you have more experienced players that are like, I don't like that plot hook, I'm not going to follow that plot hook. Remember what I mentioned in another video, you are the mediator of fun. Make sure the players are having fun. That's what's important. So my question to you is, how are you going to handle it? They don't want to follow your plot hook. What are you going to do? Talk to your players. What do you guys want to play? What adventure would you like? Make it personal. Read their background stories. Ask them for background tidbits of their characters. They mentioned that somebody killed their parents. Have that guy be a villain. Not make it personal in the sense that you're gonna, get personal with them, That's the point of this video. Don't get personal with them. But get personal with their characters. They had a brother. They don't know where he is. Use that. They used to study in a mage's college. Use that. They once uncovered an ancient city. Use that. They used to be a noble. Use that. Use whatever your players have. Have the players write the story. Subject for another video. I'll get into more detail on that later on. But man, don't. And this is the biggie. Don't punish your players. Don't. And some of you might be thinking, punishing players? How does that work? Some of you might be hanging your heads in shame. And some of you might be agreeing with me. Don't punish your players. Because then, if you're left without players, what are you going to play? With yourself? You're going to have penny, ship, and use napkin as your player base? Good luck. Kudos if you got the reference. But man, and I've seen this happen. It has happened to me. Not that I keep forgetting that damn word. Punish. Not that I punish my players. I don't do that. My players went somewhere, then they went somewhere. However, they do have to answer for their choices. That's different. If they chose to do something that was very damn stupid, answer for your choices. It is what it is. It's a breathing world. The game revolves around the players. That's how I see it. The game revolves around them. The game world does not revolve around them. There are areas in the world where there are monsters much higher level than you guys. Because it's a living, breathing world. The game revolves around you. The game world doesn't. I know there are some games that they do. But usually they just have high fantasy settings. High fantasy medieval settings. Unless one of the players is a god. You're playing a god game. Which could be fun. Anyways, I digress. But don't punish your players. Because, let me give you my 2 examples. I remember once I was playing 4th edition. And it was a 4th edition Forgotten Realms game. It was a big game. Big game. Supposed to be a summer-wide game. There were many different teams. And eventually the teams were gonna meet up and fight the big bad. But what happened? In the plot, if you know about Forgotten Realms, you know who Elminster is. So in 4th edition, I believe Elminster lost a lot of his magical powers because spell plague and blah 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 things happening in the meta plot of Forgotten Realms. It was lame. I don't like 4th edition that much. But here's the thing. He got kidnapped. So one of the groups saved him. Then he got kidnapped again. Then my group saved him. Then he got kidnapped again. Another group saved him. And then when I was playing, he got kidnapped again. And my group had to go save him again. And one of the players, he pointed out something very interesting. We're not gonna save him. That guy is a double agent. Why else would that guy get kidnapped so many times? Be rescued and then get kidnapped again. Only a spy does that. And that makes sense to a lot of us. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. That makes sense to all of us. Yeah. The guy is a spy. That might not even be Elminster. Could be a doppelganger. So no, we're not gonna save him. But the game master was having none of it. And we spent over 2 hours arguing in-game with NPCs about what to do. And the other players actually had ideas. Let's go to this area. And he said out of game to the game master, it's not that we're not gonna go with your plot, we are, but we're not gonna go with that adventure. We can attack the bad guys on this front. Let's go to this side. Screw Elminster, let him die, whatever. He asked for it. And he said, even if Elminster is not a spy, he's of no use to us. He keeps getting kidnapped, and he's not as powerful as he used to be. The world has changed, it's our time now. So let's do something else. The game master was against it. Completely against it. No. And the NPCs, no, you have to say Elminster. We're groaning, rolling our eyes, because we knew we were getting railroaded. And we told them, choo-choo, dude, what up? Stop it. It's a really bad plot. So we took like a little bit of a break because we just didn't want to do it, you know. So we took, it wasn't a break, it was the game master and his co-game master were deciding what to do. And while they were deciding what to do, I remember during the game, one of the players had mentioned that he felt like having cake. The guy feel like cake. And while the game master and his co-GM were deciding what to do, the player said, hey, there's a store near. Let's go get some cake and let's bring it back. And we can all have cake. And we were like, yeah, I like cake. Let's go get cake. Who doesn't love cake? We left and we asked the game master, hey, you want anything? It was like, just shrugged us off, just like that. We're like, okay. We went and we're back in like 15 minutes. That was it, that's all it took. We bought the cake. It was key lime pie. Yeah, it was a frozen cake, key lime pie. So it's not cake, it's pie, whatever. So yeah, we had key lime pie. I'm not a fan of key lime pie, but I still went out and stretched my legs and bought myself a Coke. A little bit of soda for me. Don't drink that much soda anymore. Soda's bad for you. So we were back. We offered them cake. They didn't want cake. We ate the cake and we got back into the game. These were long sessions. Usually we would play, go out, eat something and come back. So we didn't understand why he was so miffed. He looked miffed. So we begin the game. He agrees to do the other adventure and we're like, alright, screw him, insert. Eventually we reach the boss room. We were level 11. I remember. We were level 11 and we face off. We were in some tunnels and we face off against 4 ropers. Now if you remember 4th edition and if you've been a little bit savvy in 4th edition, you know what an elite creature is. You have minions, regular creatures, elite creatures, and solo creatures. Minions are just, they have 1 HP and they die. Regular creatures are just your run-of-the-mill creatures. Elite creatures are worth like 5 regular creatures because their ability scores and their attributes are that much higher. And solo creatures are just, you just fight them and nobody else. Maybe a couple of minions, but nothing else because they're that tough. Now usually 2 elite creatures are as good as 1 solo creature. And we were fighting 4 ropers who were level 12, us being level 11. 4 ropers, that was like 2 level 12 solo creatures. Way above our pay grade. Way above our pay grade. That was a boss fight. So if you can guess, it was mostly one-sided. Nobody died because in 4th edition it's a lot harder to die. We did have a cleric. We're just spending healing surges every single turn, keeping ourselves healed. But we barely scraped the ropers. We had no idea what to do. We couldn't head back. The ropers had a really long reach. And they were fast. Because we thought, oh, we can just run away. But then we checked the stats and those guys can crawl fast. Or something like that. I remember that we couldn't get away. It was either kill them or find somewhere else. Eventually somebody rolled knowledge, a high enough knowledge, dungeoneering I think it was, and we discovered that ropers can be guarded with food. I don't know if that was in the book or it was just the game master because he noticed we weren't gonna get anywhere. So we dropped all of our rations, all of our trail rations in the floor so the ropers could eat it. And the ropers ate it and we headed back. We couldn't head deeper into the cave, we just had to leave. A really lame ending for a really, really unfair fight. And then after the fight he told us, those ropers were meant to kill all of you. Yeah, they were. Good for you. You put on a possible encounter that should have killed us. Well done. You must be tight in the pants right now. What's the point? We die, no game. Simple as that. We die, there's no game. People don't mind. I mean, these game masters really don't mind that that's happening. Regardless of, I have not been invited to that game master's games ever since because he thought that it was my fault. I didn't even suggest the pie. I didn't even have pie. I don't like key lime pie. And another guy was also chastised with it. But what do you want? Your game is lame, your story is lame, your fights are unfair. You're not gonna have players like that. So be careful. Don't punish your players. If they don't like what you're running, listen to them. If they're still going, that means they like you as a game master. So listen to them. They want to play something else, run it for them. Because they like you as a game master, they just don't like what you're running. Second experience was I was playing Savage Worlds. And I'll be honest, I can understand why people like Savage Worlds, but that experience just ruined Savage Worlds for me. I hate that game now. Completely hate it. We were playing a variant system of Savage Worlds where you can play Final Fantasy. Interesting, but I wouldn't pick Savage Worlds for Final Fantasy. Topic for another video. About, you know, using system to run other games. Then you're gonna see me checking this video again to write down all the other videos I wanna do. The ideas just keep coming to me. Anyways, we were in a game, and this game master was just describing everything. Description after description, and me and another player, we were like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And he kept on describing. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And he kept on describing. We get to a point where only one person could roleplay. Only one person. They're talking about attacking a different area, because we were at war. It was an interesting campaign. It was. But I'll talk about the whole campaign proper eventually, because that has to be a video unto itself. But man, and they kept talking, and then you have the game master talking to himself. The game master talking to himself as the other NPCs. And my character eventually just goes like, hey, screw this, let's just go there and do what we have to do. Let's just go there. The game master actually had a script. Things he wanted to say to himself so that the players could listen. But I'm all there like, just tell us where we need to go and we'll kill it. Because that's who we were. We were mercenaries. We were the muscle. We were the people that would kill things and get the job done. We weren't diplomats. We were mercenaries. We were known for killing monsters and getting the job done. That was it. We don't care about how the different races are doing with their import and exports of fish. We don't care about that. If we had made characters like that, we would have. Because originally that character was a combat social character, because I had a lot of social skills. But the game master never let me use them. So when I had to remake my character, I didn't give him any social skills. But again, that's for later. And everybody at the table were like, let's get there. Let's go do the thing. We want to go do the thing. Eventually he got fed up. And he kicked our characters out of the area where they were talking. And then he said like 30 minutes later, after they're done talking, because you know in his head they still had the conversation, we go in and they send us to the area that we were supposed to go to. Lo and behold, the evil guy got the MacGuffin before we got there. Why? Because we angered the game master, and that's how he punished us. He made us fight the monster inside the MacGuffin, and eventually he just DMF'd it away. Deus Ex Machina, the monster is gone. We weren't meant to kill it. The monster was way too tough for us. Way too tough. But it just went away. The evil guy was like, ha ha ha, I got you, and then summoned the creature back and then left, destroying the ship we were in. After the game, he actually sends us the stat block of the creature. Oh, this is what you guys were fighting. Look how tough it is. Whoop-de-doo! It was a monster that we couldn't kill. Thank you for sending us the stat block. Excuse me. What do you gain by sending us the stat block? You're punishing us because we didn't want to hear the NPCs talking? You had us trained for being the muscle during the whole game, and now you want us to sit down and listen to you blabber to yourself for 30 minutes? That's not how it works. If you want to blabber, have the players blabber. Have the players talk to the NPCs. Have the players be the NPCs and talk amongst themselves. Another topic for later. I have probably like 4 now. But putting your players in an unwinnable fight just because you're mad at them, because you have to punish them. Send the meteor down and let us die. Wait, it's a Final Fantasy game. Sephiroth appears and we all die. If it's all the same to you, I'll leave the table. If it's all the same to you, just do that. Because why punish us? Why have 4 ropers? Why have Leviathan there? Why? Why have us fight something what we can kill? Because it's fine if the unwinnable fight is there for story purposes, because you can do it. You have to be very careful how you do it, because a lot of people don't like unwinnable fights. Nobody believes in the Kobayashi Maru. We are all Kirk and we can all win against the Kobayashi Maru. We're players, that's how we see it. Be very, very careful. Please, don't punish your players. Find a way around it. Listen to them. Listen to them and be compliant, because you are the one running the game. You are the mediator of fun. Punishing your players just ends up with you alone in your table with no players. No players means no game. And no game means boredom. And I hate boredom. Find ways around it. Ask the players. If they don't like what's happening, ask them. Get out of the game for a minute. How would you resolve this? What would you have me do? Ask for advice in the middle of the game. I always ask for my players' feedback at the end of the game. You can ask for feedback in the middle of the game if you see that things are getting rocky. Do it. You'll grow as a game master. You'll grow as an entertainer. If you're trying to design games, you'll grow as a game designer. But you have to listen and you have to learn to take critiques. Sure, if people are just insulting you, to me those aren't critiques, but if somebody's giving you constructive criticism, listen. If the players are telling you this doesn't work, listen. Sit down with your players. Find out what they want. Make it fun for everybody. That's all you have to do. Make it fun for everybody. Don't punish your players because you're going to be left alone. And then you're going to get a bad reputation as well. Oh, don't play with that guy. That guy's a killer game master. A killer GM. He punishes his players when they don't follow his railroad. If I hear that the game master always railroads the player and we can't move from that railroad and he punishes you for not following the railroad, I'm not playing in that game. You couldn't pay me to play in that game. My time is precious. I'm sorry. I have stuff to do, you know? And I want to spend my free time playing a fun game that I can tell people about. This game was fun for this, and this reason. That's what I want. That's what I want to do with my free time. Not playing a game where I'm being punished because I'm disagreeing with the way the game master is doing things. And if it was just me or one player, that's fine, because then it's just that guy with the problem. And you can also take that guy to the side and talk to them. But when it's everybody in the table, or let's suppose you have 4 players in the table, 2 of them, they're just there for the combat, and 2 of them are actually moving the plot along, and those 2 players are the ones that don't like the plot, listen to them. The other 2 are just complying with whatever it is you run. But the other 2, they want a proper game. So give it to them. Game masters, listen to your players. Players also listen to your game masters. Have communication. And game masters, by the love of Moradin. Don't punish your players.